Now, cheese and wine are not really the type of food and drink that you'd associate with austerity, but Anne-Marie Tomchak, who likes the good life, is in the World Newsroom and would beg to differ. Anne-Marie, over to you.
John, yes, I do beg to differ because I've been on a bit of an investigative journey today about austerity, and it's taken me to the depths of the wine cellars of the presidential palace in France. Recently, you'll remember that France put up some of its wine for sale at auction, over 1,000 bottles, and this was in order to bring some money back into the government and to restock the cellar with some more modest wines. And cheese was another topic that we came across back in 2010 when Ireland, the country where I'm from, when it was going through some really tough times financially. It started to hand out free cheese to the public, or to those in need, which inspired lots of jokes on Twitter about quantitative cheesing, and many people laughed at the time, but you know, the situation was actually quite serious. Now, I just want to talk a little bit more about austerity and some of the more memorable ones that have happened over the years, and I'm joined by Yolanda from BBC Mundo and Naziru from the African Service. Yolanda, just to start with you, you grew up in Venezuela and you've seen Venezuela undergo lots of different periods financially. What are your memories of austerity?
Probably the most recent ones date back to 2009. President Hugo Chavez was in charge. He passed away this year, as you know. Back then, there was a problem of a shortage in water and electricity, which is powered in Venezuela mostly by water. President Chavez, who used to go on television quite frequently, went onto this national broadcast and said, "Look, folks, what you really need to take a shower is 2 minutes. It's 3 minutes tops. So I recommend every one of you to take just 3 minutes tops in the shower. 1 minute to be wet, 1 minute to put your soap on, and 1 minute just to rinse it. And you will be done, and you will be saving water." Of course, this was the matter of national jokes. On top of that, he said, because we have an electricity problem as well, I recommend, instead of switching the lights if you need to go to the toilet at night, put a torch next to your bed. Take the torch to the bathroom, which was said, at least it's not very hygienic. It was a very serious matter, but of course, by Venezuelans, it was taken as a joke, and they were all saying, "Okay, President Chavez, you take a 3-minute shower, you take a torch to the toilet."
Of course, we laugh now, but I'm sure it was a serious matter. But did you ever try to actually achieve that shower in 3 minutes?
I must say, not myself, but people did it on stuff like YouTube, just as a joke. And, they were trying to demonstrate it's just not possible, especially, I mean, if you are going to use a shampoo, wash your hair, things like that, this 3 minutes comes as short, really.
Naziru, you grew up in Nigeria. What are your memories of growing up there?
Yeah, during the 2008 and 2009 global financial crisis, there was a banking crisis in Nigeria in which the government then had to bail out some banks. So immediately after that, the late President Umar Yar'Adua decided to cut the salaries of top government officials, including ministers, including himself and his deputy, by 20%. The idea was to save around 18 to 20 million US dollars, so that can be invested into public transport system that will enable civil servants to move around, particularly in the federal capital, Abuja. So that was my memory of this cut. Then there are similar stories in different African countries as well. For example, in Malawi, when President Joyce Banda came into power after the late President Bingu Mutharika died, she decided not to use the presidential plane. And later, earlier this year, she decided to auction the plane so that the government could save money, because, as you know, Malawi is a very poor country which almost depend on foreign aid. And as a result of that plane, when President Bingu Mutharika bought that plane, some foreign countries like UK and other countries decided to reduce the amount of aid they gave Malawi.
Naziru, thank you very much for joining us, and Yolanda from BBC Mundo, thank you for that. Well, you can get lots more on the BBC website, and if you want to get in touch with me about anything austerity related, I'm on Twitter @AMTomchak.
Anne-Marie, thank you very much indeed for that. Thank you.